Hello and welcome to or welcome back to my channel. My name is Marin and here you will find a little beauty, a little books, and a little teaching content. So if that sounds like something you might enjoy, I would love for you to subscribe and stick around and join me in my little corner of YouTube. Today's video is going to be my April Wheel of TBR. So let's go ahead and get into it. To start off, let's go ahead and recap my previous Wheel of TBRs, as I am using these monthly TBRs to kind of keep track of how well I'm doing with reading the books from said TBRs. So let's go back to February's TBR. I told you at the beginning of March's TBR that I had two books that I was still working on from February's TBR. I did finish Love on the Brain before the end of the month, and then I did finally also finish Fairy Tales Every Child Should Know, which was a very long reading process, and I just finished it like a few days ago in March. So February's TBR is officially checked off. So now let's talk about the books from March's TBR. So the first spin for March gave me a Hey Reader prompt. So I went to that website, picked a random prompt, which was highest rated on my TBR. For that, I chose Dictatorland by Paul Kenyon, which I did read. The next spin gave me multi-POV. For that, I chose Queen of Thieves by B.Z. Marsh, which I did read. Next spin gave me a book that was published before the year 2000. For that, I chose Interview with the Vampire by Anne Rice. I am currently reading this one. I am not very far into it. I am on page 78. This will not get done before the end of the month because I am actually filming this on March 31st. So this will have to carry over into April. The next spin gave me a book from my 24 and 2024 list. For that, I chose Hold Still by Nina LaCour, which I did read. And the final spin gave me a book from my 2024 series TBR. For that, I chose Never Fade by Alexandra Bracken, which I have not read. So I read 3 of the 5 books from this TBR. And to be honest, March was not a good reading month. I've read 4 books total. So it's been a struggle, so these will just have to roll over into April, and we'll cross our fingers that April will be a better reading month. Okay, so with the recap out of the way, it's time to go ahead and spin the wheel and see what it has in store for me for April. I do have a number of books that I have like coming up off of holds from the library, so I'm hoping I can fit some of them into these prompts. Plus, there are a whole bunch of books that I was supposed to read in March and didn't, so let's just see how this works out with spin number 1. Okay, so we have oldest on TBR. This means the book that has been on my TBR for the longest amount of time. It's going to be one of them from my 24 and 2024. So let me see which one I want to choose for this one. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to go with a shorter book. It is for my 24 and 2024, as I'd said it probably would be. So when I set up my 24 and 2024, 23 and 2023, etc. lists, I always take like the top oldest 12 books from my want to read list on Goodreads and transfer them over to the year's TBR. So this book, along with the bulk of the others that fall into that category, were all added to my Goodreads on January 3rd, 2012, which is when I opened my Goodreads account. And so the book that I'm going to go with, which seems to be the shortest one, is White Cat by Holly Black. I do own a physical copy of this somewhere, but I do not know where it is. So that is what I will be reading for this prompt. It'll check off one of my 24 and 2024s right away, which is good because I try to read 2 per month. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and replace oldest on TBR with matches my outfit. And now let's do spin number 2. Okay, this one is building on the cover, so let me see what I can pick for this one. Okay, this one is perhaps stretching it a bit because it's not super clear that this is a building on the cover, but I think it's a house. The book is Expiration Dates by Rebecca Searle. This is one of them that is coming up from my library. I have like a couple days before the audiobook hold comes in, so I'm gonna put this on the list. That right there that I've circled, I'm calling a house, which is a building. So we're going with it. Let's go on now and replace the prompt. Okay, we're gonna go, oh, that's 2. Let's try that again. And this one, which is new series. Definitely not something I need to be doing, but okay. All right, spin number 3. Okay, we have paranormal again. Let me take a look. Perhaps one of the series books I want to read will work for this. Let me see. Okay, yes, one of the series books. I'm gonna go with Akata Witch by Nnedi Okorafor. This is one of the books from my 2024 series list that I want to read in its entirety this year. This I wanted to read in March, didn't get to it. It's going on this TBR. We're following Sunny. She has like magical abilities, so I'm calling it paranormal. This is the pick. Okay, let's replace paranormal with a standalone. And now we'll do spin number 4. And of course, we can't have like an easy TBR. This is a prompt that I've already landed on, so I have to forfeit that for a TBR jar pick. Let's go ahead and see what it's gonna be. Okay, I am just going to go in kind of on the edge here. Let's see, here's one. Oh, okay, this one is The Blackwoods. I don't remember who that's by. Here's the cover. Let me make sure I can get that from the library. If not, I'm gonna pick a different one, but I should be able to get this one. Okay, so The Blackwoods is by Brandy Colbert. I can get the audio on Everand, so that is going to be the 4th pick. Let's go ahead and continue spinning because I don't switch out that prompt. I had to forfeit it. So let's go ahead and do the final spin. Spin number 5. Okay. Last spin gives me nonfiction. I know exactly what I'm going to be reading. I am going to be reading The Poison King by Adrienne Mayer. The full title is The Life and Legend of Mithridates, Rome's Deadliest Enemy. This is something that I needed to read in March. Didn't get to. It's for a vlog, so I'm putting it on this one to check that off. I'm looking forward to reading this. I started reading this back when it was first released, probably 2012-ish. Had to return it to the library and then just never got back to it. So that is what I'm gonna pick for nonfiction, and I'm really excited about it. Okay, gonna go ahead and replace that one so that it's ready for next month with this one. It's stuck, but I'm going with Debut. Okay, now let's chat about the other books that I need to read this month, starting with my buzzword pick. The buzzword is a nature-related word in the title, so I am going with Far From the Tree by Robin Benway. This is from my 24 and 2024 list, so this will be the 2nd book from that list that I will hopefully read in April. Next, we have the Literally Dead book club pick. However, I am not done with either February's or March's pick. So I have started reading Out There Screaming, which is an anthology edited by Jordan Peele. I've read 2 of the stories in that book. I need to read that one, obviously. That was meant to be read in February, and I didn't get to it. March's pick was Vera Wong's Unsolicited Advice for Murderers by Jessie Q. Satanto, which I got like 100-ish pages into and then had to return to the library because there was a wait list for it. So I am back on the wait list and will hopefully get that back decently quickly, and I can finish it within the first part of the month. And then April's pick is Night Watching by Tracy Sierra. Now, this one has a very long holds list at my library. I'm going the audio route for this one, so I don't even know if that's going to get to me in April, so this one may just have to carry over into whenever the hold eventually comes in. But it is on this month's TBR because it is supposed to be the April pick. Then, of course, I have my Classics Challenge, which I am doing every 2 months. The pick for March and April is Little Women by Louisa May Alcott, which I have not started reading yet, so this one needs to get done this month to stay on track. And then I am behind on my Nancy Drew read-along, obviously, because when you only read 4 books and one of them is not the Nancy Drew book, it means you have to do 2 the next month. So I will need to read number 27, which is The Secret of the Wooden Lady. That was supposed to be March's book. And then I will also need to read The Clue of the Black Keys, which is number 28, which is April's book. So this is quite the hefty TBR. We will just see how I do. I will obviously let you know how the wheel picks go in my next video, but yeah. Hopefully this will be a better reading month than March was. Otherwise, I have no chance of getting through all of these books. So anyway, that's it. That's the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave me a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to my channel if you would like to see more from me. And I will see you in my next video. Bye, everyone.